Hello everyone. So welcome to the Ask Me Anything sessions for the RBI Grade B 2025, the RBI notifications and RBI press releases and finance current affairs. Okay. So as you know that the RBI Grade B notification is going to come out soon, and I hope you have started preparing very well for the examination. Okay, so this is the right time to start the preparation if you have not started till now, because the notification is going to come out soon. After that you will not have much time to prepare for all the components together. Okay, so start with your preparation now. You do not have to wait now. You should not be waiting for anything. Okay, so here this is your Ask Me Anything. If you have any confusion, if you have any question regarding how to prepare the RBI notifications and press releases, how important is it, how many months of coverage is required for this component, how important the finance current affairs is for phase 1, for phase 2, how many months of finance current affairs should you be doing. So all these questions will be catered to in today's session. What are the sources and everything, all your queries will be catered to, as well as whatever queries you have you can write in the comment section below. Okay, so do write your queries so that I can answer more and more of your questions, and you have the clarity that how you have to prepare for the RBI notifications and RBI press releases and finance current affairs. Okay, so this Ask Me Anything session I am taking so that you are well informed about how to prepare for these components, which are very important from your examination perspective. Okay, I will show you that out of 80, around 17 questions were from these component in the phase 1. So these components are very important. Okay, so let's get started with the Ask Me Anything. Let me see your questions, and good morning everyone. But before starting with the session, let me tell you that there is a Teachers Day sale that is going on, which is for limited time only, from 4th September till 6th September 2025, where you are getting flat 74% off for all the courses, all the regulatory body courses, that is for RBI Grade B, IFSC Grade A, IRDI Grade A, NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A, as well as for the combo courses also you are getting the flat 74% off. Okay, and here you can use the code August74. So this is the idea. So this is the RBI, there is the flat 74% off that is going on for all the courses that you can avail, and this is the Teachers Day sale that is there. Okay, so let's get started with your queries. First of all, here you can see that for RBI Grade B, the RBI website, the RBI notifications and press releases and the finance current affairs, they both are very important. How is it so? Here you can see that in 2024, in the phase 1 of the RBI Grade B examination, there were 9 questions from finance current affairs and there were 8 questions from RBI notifications. And as you see the previous trend, there has been an increase in the questions from the RBI notifications and there has been an increase in the questions from the finance current affairs. So you can understand that it is important, and the trend is moving towards the questions from the finance current affairs from the RBI notifications and such. Okay, so the finance current affairs and RBI notifications, they are very important for your phase 1 of the RBI Grade B examination. You can see that out of 80 questions, 17 questions are from these components, from the RBI notifications and press releases and finance current affairs. Okay, okay, so for this component I will be taking the queries for your finance current affairs and for your RBI notifications. Okay, which is a very important component in your phase 1. Now what kind of questions come? So from RBI website you can see that direct questions come from the important areas like the digital payment index. There is a question from digital payment index that was quite in news before the examination, the bulk deposit limit, as well as there was question regarding the Reserve Bank of India tightened norms for the housing finance companies, as well as there was a question from the annual report directly. There was a question from the FSR also. There was question from the Monetary Policy Committee. So the questions are direct in nature. Okay, they can be statement based questions also or direct questions also, and the questions you can see are from directly RBI website. Then there were questions from finance current affairs in the phase 1, where you can see that here to boost participation of small investors in the securities. So there was direct question from the SEBI directions, from SEBI circular that was quite in news at that time. Okay, so if you are reading the SEBI articles, you do not have to go to SEBI website, you do not have to go to SEBI circulars and such, you can read the news. Okay, and from the news directly the questions come under the finance current affairs from the current affairs. Okay, so these are the kind of questions that have come in the finance current affairs in phase 1. Now let me take your query for the phase 1. Okay, yes, Abhi. See, if you are studying the annual report, so I have taken the session for the annual report and for the FSR. So if you are studying for the annual report and the financial stability report for the RBI Grade B examination, and you are studying from the YouTube sessions of mine, you can do so. You will get the majority of the important points you can get from the annual report. But I will suggest you that once, if you get the time, okay, do see, like, whatever course you have of whichever institution, do see the document that they have provided, or at least attempt the quiz that they have provided. Okay, so this is the idea. Yes, you can go through the YouTube sessions that I have taken on the annual report and the financial stability report, where I've covered the most important points. But I will suggest you that do go through the document that is provided by your course, whichever institution course you have, and give the quiz from the course. Okay, now the next query. So this is regarding annual report and FSR, which both are important from the examination point of view. Especially the annual report of RBI is very, very important. Okay, which report we need to consider for currency and finance trends and progress. So right now the currency and finance, it should have been released. The 2025 update should have come out, but it has not come out. So for now, wait for the update. Because the data that was provided in the trend and progress for the banking, so that has become obsolete, that has become old. So that reports are not, the older reports are not very important. You can just go through the highlights of those reports, that's it. The new reports you should wait for, especially the report on currency and finance that should have been released, okay, or can be released now. Okay, so the previous reports, now you can read the annual report and the financial stability report for now, and the report on trend and progress, that is very old, as well as the report on currency and finance is older version. So you do not have to go through the whole reports, you can just see the highlights, that's it. Okay, how can you get the monthly compilation of RBI notification and press releases? If you do not have a course, then there is Finance 360-degree series that is going on, where I take the weekly sessions on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, and the PDFs are provided in the Telegram channel. There is no monthly compilation as such, but there is a monthly revision session. There is a monthly revision session that is taken for the RBI notifications and RBI press releases. Okay, so that is like a monthly compilation that you are getting, the monthly revision that you are getting. Okay, as well as there is monthly revision session for your current affairs, for your current tab, for your current affairs, where we discuss the finance current affairs, general awareness and the ESI current affairs. So you can download the PDF for the monthly revision session for current affairs, so that you are getting a monthly compilation for all the important news from finance current affairs, GA and ESI current affairs. Okay, so finance, if you do not have a course, then you can prepare, or you can like revise, and you can see the important news articles from here. Okay, Finance 360-degree session happens on weekly, and you get weekly, like you get the PDFs when the session happens on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday within 24 hours, and there is monthly revision session that is happening. Okay, and now if you have a course, of any institute, you will be getting the monthly compilations for your current affairs, which consist of your finance current affairs, your general awareness and your ESI current affairs, as well as you will be getting a separate document or magazine for your RBI notifications and RBI press releases. Okay, how can you prepare for the 80 marks? As you can see that, see the general awareness in the phase 1, remember this, in the phase 1 you have quant, reasoning, English and GA. Now GA consists of 80 marks, right? Now in the general awareness, out of 80 questions, so in the general awareness, out of 80 questions, you can see that 17 questions were from general awareness, were directly from the sports, awards, defense, exercises and such, from these areas. Okay, now this is only important for your phase 1. So you can focus on 3 to 4 months of general awareness, that is fine. Just focus on the recent news articles of the sports, awards and such. Okay, then comes the ESI current affairs, from where 8 questions came last year, schemes 7 questions came, reports 24 questions came. Now these parts, the schemes and reports, they are very important from the objective and descriptive point of view, from phase 1, phase 2 point of view. ESI current affairs are also important from phase 1 and phase 2 point of view. Okay, so you should focus on these at least I'm saying 6 months. Okay, 6 months you have to cover for the phase 1 and phase 2 perspective. For phase 1, at least 5 months, I can say. For phase 2, 6 months at least. Okay, reports you have to do a little more months, like see the reports that have come previously also, that is mentioned in your syllabus, World Economic Outlook and such reports are important. Okay, now finance current affairs and RBI notifications. I will tell you how many months of finance current affairs and RBI notification you have to do at the end. Now this is the important part, that from here also around 17 questions came. Okay, for finance current affairs you can focus on 3 to 4 months. Okay, at least 3 to 4 months of finance current affairs you should be studying before the phase 1, and before the phase 2 you will get the 5 months of the finance current affairs. Okay, because finance current affairs is both important from phase 1 as well as phase 2. RBI notifications are also important from phase 1 and phase 2 perspective. So RBI notification should be done at least 5 to 6 months. Okay, now static current affairs, that is static knowledge that you have. Okay, so this is the idea. 80 marks. 80 marks means that you have to do the general awareness for 3 to 4 months, at least do 3 months of general awareness, or do 3 months of the general awareness. Practice it a lot, because there will be a very factual information that will be there. So practice a lot of questions, practice a lot of MCQs, revise again and again. Even if you are doing 2 months, even if you are doing 3 months, the major important point is to revise. So I always suggest the students that call me or that mail me, that always start from the current month. So from August, do the schemes, reports, general awareness, ESI current affairs, finance current affairs. Okay, start from August, then go back to July, then go back to June. Okay, so that you are covering the recent months first, and you are revising the recent months first, and then you are going back, because the maximum questions they come from the recent months. Then the questions also come from the previous months, like from April, May also the questions will come, but the most of the questions, or the majority of the questions, will come from June to August months. Okay, or from May to August months, 3 to 4 months. Okay, so keep this in mind, that the and September also, because if the exam happens in October, so till September, so June to September will be the most important months, 4 months. Okay, so remember that start from the recent month that you have the compilations of and such, and then go back, and always focus on revising what you have studied before going back. Okay, so if you are studying August, complete August, revise August once, and then go to July. When you are studying July, again at the end of the week, revise August and whatever you have studied in June. So this is the strategy that you can follow, and in this manner you will be very well versed in the recent months. Okay, so this is how you can prepare for the 80 marks. I have provided you the basic overall idea. Okay, okay, Devjit, I can name, see, the RBI under the RBI website, the RBI reports are there, RBI schemes are there. So reports of RBI and schemes of RBI. So which are the important reports of RBI and which are the important schemes of RBI? So right now the important report of RBI is the annual report. FSR also you can do the basics only. Okay, the highlights, major highlights. The report on currency and finance, if it is released, now, it will be very important. It will be the most important report. If it is not released, then the previous edition is not very important. You can just do the highlights. Okay, so basically if the new edition is released of the report on currency and finance, which is expected to be released, it should have been released in the last month only, but it is not released till now. So we are expecting it to release in the coming months. So if it is released, it will be very, very important, most important report, because that is released just before the exam. Okay, so report on currency and finance, if the new edition is there, very important. If not, just do the highlights, not very important. Okay, the report on trend and progress. So remember that the report on trend and progress of the banking sector, so the data has become obsolete, the data has become old. So that's why it is also not very important, and you can just do the highlights here also. Okay, so the most important reports right now is annual report and FSR. Out of this also the most important is annual report, then FSR. If the new report on currency and finance is released, then the new one will become the most important. Okay, now coming to the schemes, you have PIDF, Payments Infrastructure Development Fund. You have the Liberalized Remittance Scheme of the Reserve Bank of India, Retail Direct Scheme of the Reserve Bank of India, Ombudsman, Retail Ombudsman Scheme. Sorry, Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, my bad. You have integrated ombudsman scheme, and you have internal ombudsman scheme also. You have internal ombudsman scheme. I have taken sessions on all these schemes. Okay, so just type PIDF EduTap and just see the recent session that has been taken a few months back, 2 or 3 months back. Liberalized remittance scheme EduTap, retail direct scheme EduTap, and integrated ombudsman scheme EduTap. So if you type this in YouTube, you will get the videos. Okay, so this is the idea and the reports. So these are the important schemes and reports. Now coming to the next question. You can see you can write the important schemes and reports. Coming to the next question. Ma'am, is there any way to get reports? Okay, done. Can you take FSRN? Okay, Mayank, I will see. I will try to take the session. Okay, so Mayank was asking about the MCQ session for the annual report and FSR. So I will try to take. Okay. After the notification, I will try. Okay. Ma'am, is today? No, today is your Ask Me Anything session. Today is like before starting, because notification is going to come out soon. So you should have the clear strategy. Then it is better to discuss the current affairs and such. First, like have the clear-cut strategy for the RBI notification, RBI press releases and finance current affairs. If you have any doubt, you can ask that. Okay. So today is the doubt session in a way. Is RBI schemes we need to go through irrespective of? Yes, yes. Very good. Very good question. RBI schemes you have to cover irrespective of the year it was released, because retail direct scheme, a question came from this retail direct scheme in 2023. A descriptive question came from the retail direct scheme in the 2023, I guess, and this was not in news at that time. So it was a surprise for everyone. So the RBI schemes are important. Okay, irrespective of the year. So you have to cover the PIDF scheme, liberalized remittance scheme, retail direct scheme, integrated ombudsman scheme, internal ombudsman scheme. All these schemes of RBI, they are important irrespective of the year they were released, irrespective of they are in news or they are not in news. Even if they are not in news, you have to cover the schemes. Okay, because question directly came from retail direct scheme and it was not in news at that time. Okay, what should be our priority, RBI notification or report and indices? Okay, what should be the priority? Say, RBI notifications and press releases that you have to cover from the RBI website. Okay, on the regular basis. The descriptive question can come from here. The objective questions, I have just shown you that there were 8 objective questions in the phase 1. And in the phase 2, there were around 1 to 2 questions in the phase 2, in the 2024. In the 2023, there was a descriptive question directly from the RBI notification and press release. So RBI notification and press releases are very important. At the same time, the reports of RBI, they are also very important. Okay, they are also very important because the annual report, the FSR, the report on currency and finance, if it is released new, the new currency and finance report, that will be very important. Okay, so there is no priority order, you have to cover both of them because many of the questions come from RBI notification and press releases, and these reports are also very important from your phase 1, phase 2 and interview perspective. Okay, so you have to cover the reports anyway, but if you have less time, I will suggest you to cover the highlights of the reports, annual report and FSR. Focus on annual report more, then focus on FSR and such. Okay, okay, if I joined RBI course from EduTap, do I need to watch YouTube current affairs or just follow the course alone? Okay, Venkatesh is asking that if you get the course, see, if you get the course, you will get the magazines, compiled magazines, so that you have all the relevant schemes, reports, current affairs, the finance current affairs and general awareness, ESI current affairs, RBI notifications and RBI press releases. You will get the magazines on the monthly basis. Okay, sorry, on the weekly basis also you get. Then you get the compiled monthly schemes, monthly reports, miscellaneous reports that are very important. You get it separately also. So these are the magazines that you are getting in the course. If you find that okay, the schemes you are able to directly understand from the compilation reports and such also, then you can directly cover the compilations. But for the RBI notifications and RBI press releases, they are very technical in nature, so sometimes they are difficult to understand. Then you might need to see the finance 360-degree session. Other than that, current affairs, very easy to understand. They are one-liners usually, and they are explained in a very good manner in the magazines. So the current affairs, the finance current affairs, the ESI current affairs, the general awareness, they are very nicely provided in the magazines. The reports are very detailed and very nicely provided in the magazine with the explanation and the schemes also. RBI notification is also provided very nicely in the magazine, but still it is very technical in nature. So students do face confusion. That's why we take the finance 360-degree session that you might need to watch. Okay, so it depends upon your understanding also, as well as it depends upon the subject matter also. So RBI notification is a little difficult. For that, you might need to have the understanding, okay, through the sessions. Okay, ma'am, are the sessions taken by you enough for these reports and schemes for now? For the schemes, yes, you can just see the YouTube sessions. For the reports also, they are providing you the highlights. So if you only want to focus on the highlights, then the sessions are enough. But still, for annual report, I will suggest, for annual report, at least do cover the like material that is provided by your course, because annual report is important for phase 1, phase 2, as well as interview. Okay, so I will suggest you that, okay, see the video that is provided in YouTube. Okay, I have taken a 3-hour session on the annual report, so I have discussed with you all the important points from the annual report that is very important from the examination point of view. But I will suggest you that do once go through the course, like the material that is provided in the course also, because annual report is just too important. Okay, now next. Okay, how important are the reports released by IMF and World Bank? If you remember, in the ESI, there were descriptive questions that came from migration, inequality, and such. So they were from the reports of IMF, World Bank, and such. Okay, so reports of IMF and World Bank are important because you get the descriptive questions from the reports released by IMF and World Bank. Okay, the International Labour Organization released a report in regards to the Indian employment condition and such. Okay, so from that also a question came in the descriptive part of the ESI. So the reports, if they are in the Indian context, or the reports that are related to your syllabus, so migration, inequality, gender issues and such, if the reports are released in these syllabus related matter, so basically you have to focus on the syllabus, that okay, these are the topics that is mentioned in the ESI syllabus. Okay, and if the IMF, World Bank, and the important international organizations, they are releasing the report on any of the topic related to your syllabus, so that becomes important. Okay, that report becomes important. Ma'am, did you include RBI reports under reports? Sorry, Abhi, what question you are asking? Ma'am, did you include RBI reports under reports? RBI? Yes, you can say so. Yes, all the reports question, even if they are from any report, any like questions from any of the reports, they have been added here. Okay. Next, although my exams are over, but I don't have the graduation certificate right now. So will I be able to fill the form? Results are awaiting. What should I do? See, for now, start your preparation. Okay, start your preparation, and quant, reasoning and such you should be practicing when the notification is out. In the notification, it will be clearly mentioned that what is required. Provisional certificate, if you have, that can also be used. Okay. No, Anurag, if you have any course from any institution, I will suggest you that trust your course, because if you have purchased a course, you must have like invested your time in searching for that course now, and you should trust the course that you have bought. So if you have bought course from any institution, trust that course. If you keep on going to the websites, if you keep on going to the newspapers, it will waste your time. Then there is no benefit of getting the course. Okay, so if you have any course, if you have EduTap's course or any other course you have, trust that course and buy the course only when you trust the course. So buy the course when you trust the course, and once you trust the course, trust it wholeheartedly. Okay, you can have a secondary material also. Let's say you are giving the marathon sessions in YouTube to see that okay, everything is getting covered or not, but course, like you should trust your course that you are buying, whichever course you are buying. Okay, what can be the possible cutoff for PF? I'm taking the questions for RBI notification and finance current affairs. I do not know about the cutoffs that can be in the PFRDA. For that, a separate video has been made by Jalasar and Anchisar, I guess. Okay. For government schemes, you can ask the question from Gurkira sir. Okay. For RBI schemes, I have told you the important areas. Because see, government schemes, whichever schemes are quite in news recently, they become very important. And regarding schemes, should I put at last priority for phase 1 as because of recent parliament monsoon session, there are too many schemes. If there are too many schemes, see, the priority order here you can see the number of questions, the RBI notifications are important, finance current affairs are important, reports are important, ESI current affairs are important. So schemes are also important. It's not like that you should not cover the schemes or you should leave the schemes. Schemes are also important, but you have to see that which schemes are directly related to your syllabus also. So cover the schemes that are directly related to your syllabus. Okay, that will be important. Okay, ma'am, I am EduTap student. Where are these RBI schemes provided? They are provided in the schemes tab document. So the schemes, they get covered in the schemes tab document. Okay, if you want to see a particular scheme, you can also write it in the discussion forum that where I can find the scheme. So the team will tell you that in which document it is. Okay, I'm not bad in quant, but besides this, what should I do? Focus more. Current affairs. See, if you are preparing for phase 1, you have to focus on your quant, reasoning, English. If you are good in quant, reasoning, English, do not be overconfident. Keep on giving the mock test so that you recognize your silly mistakes that you might be making. Then you have to focus on general awareness. If you have time, if you are very good in quant, reasoning, English, and you are good with general awareness, you are preparing general awareness thoroughly, then you can also start with management static. Because the target is not only to clear the phase 1, the target is also to clear the phase 2 and to become the RBI grade B officer, right? So after doing the general awareness, or like with that, you can do the management static also. Okay, now before taking more questions, let me show you that in 2023 there were questions, descriptive questions from the finance current affairs and the RBI press release. So this was a question from RBI press release. This was a question from finance current affair. So there can be descriptive questions from the finance current affairs and RBI press releases, RBI notification in the examination. Okay. Now coming to how many months of RBI notification and press releases you should be doing. Now you might ask that why I'm not saying RBI circular or RBI directions. Because remember that if there is a new RBI direction that is released or a new circular that is released, that will be mentioned, that will be given in your RBI notification. If there is any update that has come in the circular, if there is any update that has come in the direction, that will also be mentioned in your RBI notification. So you do not have to go to RBI circular section separately and study everything. No, that is not required. You have to focus on all the RBI notifications that are released and the RBI press releases that are released, that you have to cover, and minimum 5 to 6 months of the RBI notification and press releases you should be covering from the phase 1, phase 2 perspective. Okay, that is the idea. So before phase 1, 4-5 months you can focus, and after the phase 1 is over, for phase 2 you will have the 6 months of the coverage. Coming to the finance current affairs, you can cover it from Business Standard or the Economic Times. Mainly Business Standard is a very good source for finance current affairs, and keep this in mind that if you have the course, follow the course. If you do not have the course, then follow Business Standard and the Economic Times. Okay, how many months of the finance current affairs you have to do for phase 1? So minimum 3 to 4 months. So if you are covering minimum 3 months for the phase 1, so minimum 4 months should be there for the phase 2. Okay, so that is the idea. Now in the phase 1, the finance current affairs that come in the phase 1, they are all the finance current affairs, different kind of finance current affairs. Okay, that what do I mean by this? In the phase 1, if you see the questions, the questions are also from like Indian government bonds have been included in JP Morgan's emerging market index. Foreign portfolio investor holdings of outstanding fully accessible route bonds could rise to dash by 2025. So very like vague kind of question, not vague I will say, but a very not so important from the economic point of view. Okay, a direct question from private entities also. So this kind of question can come in your phase 1. This kind of question can come in your phase 1. Okay, just a second. So this kind of question can come in your phase 1, as well as you can see the question to standardize the opening price discovery equilibrium price across exchanges. So there is a decision that has been taken by the NSE. So this kind of question can come in your phase 1. But in the phase 2, particularly the questions come that are impacting the economy, or there is something different that is happening. Okay, there is some update that has been brought. So there was the small and medium. So there was the small and medium real estate investment trust that came into being. So SEBI said that, okay, there will be small and medium real estate investment trust that will be operationalized. So you can see that a question came from that. There was UPI circle that was quite in news because this was recently launched. So a question came on that. There was question regarding the SEBI that has allowed UPI ecosystem for the IPOs and such, okay, for the investment, for the retail investors, for the public issues of the debt securities through intermediaries and such. SEBI allowed UPI for the investment in debt securities. So 3 questions came from that because it was related to UPI, it was related to the whole of the retail investors and the market structure. So you can understand that in the phase 2, the questions are more about the update that has happened, that is impacting the whole of the economy, or there is something new that has been brought, something that is related to UPI ecosystem, something that is related to RBI also. So this is the or something that is related to digital payments. So in the phase 2, there are questions that are more related to the economy and more related to the update, the recent updates that is happening. Okay. So in the phase 1, when you are focusing on the current finance current affairs, you have to cover all the finance current affairs. In the phase 2, the finance current affairs questions are majorly from the major updates that have happened recently. That is the most important finance current affairs we can say. Okay, so it's not like that for phase 2 you should leave all the other finance current affairs, but focus on, I am saying that revise the major updates very thoroughly, focus on the major updates more thoroughly for phase 2. Okay, now let me take more of your questions. Ayush, do write this in the discussion forum in the ESI section also. I'm glad that you liked it. Okay, Anurag. Ma'am, kindly tell us notification that we have to prepare from descriptive end. Notifications that you have to prepare from the descriptive angle, basically the notifications that are quite detailed, like the SRO, self-regulatory organization. Okay, as the notifications are released, the new notifications that are released, then I will tell you in the session itself. But the report that is released for free AI. So the report is very important from the descriptive point of view because it is for the artificial intelligence and RBI is working in that domain a lot. Okay, so these kind of topics can come in the descriptive part of the examination. Which schemes? Okay, so basically in ESI you have been given the syllabus, okay, in which let's say there is multiculturalism that is mentioned, gender issues that is mentioned. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, so if there is any scheme that is related to gender issues, so that scheme becomes important. If there is any scheme that is related to poverty, that is very important. If there is any scheme that is related to employment, that is very important. So in the for the ESI, there is syllabus that is given. Okay, that syllabus is not only for your static coverage, because static questions come very less. Out of 30 questions in phase 2, there are only like 1 or 2 questions that, or there was no question in 2024. There was around 7 questions in 2023. Okay, and that was also very basic, like IMF, when was it established and WTO under which round and such. So ESI syllabus is majorly for you to get the clarity that which reports you have to cover. The reports that is connected with the migration, inequality and such. Reports that is connected with the employment in the country, poverty and such. Schemes that is connected with the syllabus, that is poverty, with the employment, with the gender issues. Got it? So that is it clear now that which schemes you have to cover. So that is related to the syllabus. Okay. Venkatesh, I have told you that EduTap's RBI crash course. Okay, if you are talking about the crash course, yes, in the crash course I will be taking the live classes, so that will be enough. Then you do not have to watch the YouTube sessions. Okay, if you are getting the RBI crash course, in the crash course itself we will be taking the live sessions for the current affairs also. Okay, so there will be live sessions for your RBI notification, RBI press releases, finance current affairs also. For that you will have the live session. So if you are taking the RBI crash course, there is no requirement to watch the regular sessions in YouTube. Okay, but I will suggest you that do watch the marathon session so that you get practice of multiple hundreds of MCQs. Okay, but the regular sessions is not required, because in the RBI crash course I will be taking the live classes for finance current affairs and RBI notification, RBI press releases. Gurkira sir will be taking the live classes for schemes. Devanshu sir will be there for reports and general awareness and such. Okay, so yes, Venkatesh, I hope it is clear now. Vishal, I will ask the team about the test series. Ma'am, if I only cover all in one current affair booster of the course, will it be enough for general awareness of phase 1? I'm having huge difficulty in covering GA. Also, there is very less time. Like, remember that you are in a competitive exam. So, how much you are covering also depends on that how much the other students are covering. If someone is covering or the other students are covering the documents, if they are covering more, they will be able to answer more. It might be fine for phase 1 that you are covering the limited portion, but in phase 2 you might have problem. Okay, so I will suggest you that whatever you are covering, like boosters are there for your revision, for your last minute revision. They should not be taken only as a single point of coverage. Okay, boosters are for your revision. If we are giving boosters in courses, that is for your revision purpose, for your last minute revision. In the course we have given the documents, and if let's say you are facing problem for covering 4 months, cover 3 months. If you are facing problem covering 6 months, cover 5 months, 4 months. But at least cover what you are covering, like cover it in a very comprehensive manner, as well as in a manner that you are revising it again and again. Okay, and remember that this is a competitive exam. You are competing with the other students here. Basically, the finance current affairs consist of the SEBI news, IRDI related news, Ministry of Finance, if it has released something, that also comes under finance current affairs. If Ministry of Finance has released some update and such, the PFRDA and any other organization, if it is releasing any update and that is in news, that comes under finance current affairs. Even the RBI, if it is releasing some update, that comes under finance current affairs, though it is not very detailed. You only have to do the basic coverage in these news articles. Now, RBI notifications and RBI press releases, these are covered in detail. These are covered in detail because the questions can come from various details. Okay, so RBI notifications and RBI press releases, they are given in your RBI website. So that is also given in your respective courses. So they have to be covered, okay, in detail. Will there be monthly revision or marathon for a finance? And yes, monthly revision sessions are going on. I have already taken the monthly revision session for July finance current affair, for August finance current affair, for June we have taken monthly revision session also. Okay, for RBI EduTap also I have taken the monthly revision session for July month. So monthly revision sessions are already going on. Yes, there will be marathon before the examination. Nahi, Ayush, if you are preparing for 2026, of course, you should not be preparing general awareness right now. This is for your 2025 examination only. अगर आप 2026 के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो मैनेजमेंट पर फोकस करो पहले, क्योंकि मैनेजमेंट पूरा स्टैटिक है. फिर फाइनेंस पर फोकस करो, फिर ईएसआई का बेसिक कवर कर लेना, ईएसआई स्टैटिक का, ठीक है, क्योंकि ईएसआई स्टैटिक से उतने क्वेश्चन नहीं आते. तो पहले मैनेजमेंट स्टैटिक, फाइनेंस स्टैटिक, फिर ईएसआई स्टैटिक. सो ये जो है वो 2026 के लिए अगर आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो. सो इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर 2026, स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट स्टैटिक, देन फाइनेंस स्टैटिक, एट लास्ट ईएसआई स्टैटिक, दैट यू हैव टू डू द बेसिक्स ओनली. ओके. How many months of schemes and reports we have to cover regarding RBI? Regarding RBI के लिए I have told you the important reports and schemes. If you are saying that from RBI directly. Yes, so RBI reports, I have told you annual report, FSR is important. If the new report on currency and finance is released, that is important. RBI scheme, all the RBI schemes you have to cover, irrespective of the timeline. In phase 1, sometimes they are more, sometimes they are less. You can expect around 2 to 4 questions. Okay. But if the static questions come, that is also from related to the current affairs. Like you can see, there was a question related to DICGC. Okay. This was sorry. So here you can see that there was a question related to DICGC. Now, this was also mentioned in the current affairs. So, if a static question is coming, this is a static question that is related to your current affairs. So, static questions come that is related to your current affairs, okay? Okay. Any other question anyone has? So, I have told you that the RBI news tab, if you are talking about, so it covers RBI notifications and RBI press releases, that is RBI website. Okay. While the finance current affairs consist of SEBI news, IRDI news, PFRDA news, Ministry of Finance is related some update. So the news that is coming regarding that. So finance current affairs is slightly different from your RBI news or RBI news tab. Is it clear? I have completed only management part in phase 2. Can I focus on? Yes, John. If your management is like clear, now you can focus on phase 1. Quant, reasoning, English and GA. If you think that okay, your maximum portion of quant, reasoning, English and GA is done, then you can start with finance static. But I will suggest you that first, if your management is done, then first focus on phase 1 subjects. When you feel that okay, at least 70% of my or at least 60% of my phase 1 subjects are done, then you can also start some of the topics of finance static. Otherwise, just focus on phase 1. Quant ke liye, I will suggest you that do like if you have a live crash course of EduTap, then Vishnu sir will be taking the live classes of quant, so he will be discussing with you various questions, so you will not have the problem. As well as if you are feeling like if you do not have a course, then also do not worry, see many of the marathon sessions, many of the revision sessions, many of the sessions in YouTube. Okay, so if you are afraid in a subject, that means you have to work on that subject so that your fear reduces. Okay, and give a lot of mock test so that you can build on that courage for that subject. Okay, I am also not very good in quant, so I can understand like where you are coming from. So just practice a lot. That is what I can say. Okay. So this is it. I am closing the session now. Now before closing the session, I have told you about the months that you have to cover for RBI News tab or for the RBI notification press releases and for finance current affairs. And these are the reference series that is going on so that you can see. And before closing the session, again, there is a Teachers' Day sale that is going on. That is for limited time only from 4 September to 6 September 2025. And here you are getting the off, 74% off that you are getting for all these courses. Okay. So this is the idea. And if you have any confusion regarding the courses, you can see the description box. In that the link is provided, as well as you can contact here. Okay. So that is the idea. So you can also contact in this number to ask more about the courses and such. So this is it. Thank you everyone. Descriptive answer writing को improve कैसे करें? So that is through Perspective 360 degree series. So you have a Perspective 360 degree series for your answer writing practice. Okay, that is taken on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5. Finance 360, if you are talking about Finance 360, in this we cover the RBI news or the RBI notifications and press releases. That is the priority in the Finance 360. After that, so after covering the RBI notification and press releases, then we also cover the finance current affairs. Okay, so Finance 360-degree sessions, they cover your RBI notifications, RBI press releases. That is, your RBI website is getting covered here. The most of the important and relevant topics are getting covered here from the RBI website, and some of your important finance current affairs also get covered here. Okay. So this is the idea. Thank you, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I hope now you have better clarity about the examination and the strategy that is required for the examination. So thank you, everyone. This is it. If there is any further query, any further question, you can comment down below, okay, in the comment section. Thank you.